Prophecy and destiny are both things that are often considered beyond human reach. They are given to you by God or a result of your upbringing, but we rarely consider them as something that you yourself can mold. The hero fulfills the prophecy, or he follows his destiny, but he never creates it. And consequently, the person who creates the prophecy is never the one to fulfill it. But isn't that kind of strange? So often, popular stories will contain prophecies, like Master Oogway's prediction of the Dragon Warrior, or the Fremen's foretelling of the Mahadib, but they always rely on someone else to fulfill these prophecies. But what if someone could construct their own prophecy, mold their own destiny, and create a foretelling that would not come to pass with time or luck, but with their own will? Friend from the manga 20th Century Boys is one of the only characters I've ever seen do this in any type of media. From his early childhood, he begins to create a prophecy. And sure, he adopts part of it from Kenji and his friend group, but it is only because he likes their ideas and wants them to come to fruition. Friend often refers to this prophecy that he is actively bringing to reality as a game. He tells Kenji multiple times, "Let's play a game," or that Kenji isn't following the rules of the game. And this is important because the prophecy that Friend is creating is not one that he alone takes part in. Instead, Friend manages to manipulate countless people and predict their every move to make their actions align with his own will. And this is what really differentiates Friend from other antagonist or prophetic heroes. He doesn't just want to end the world, he wants to play a game. He wants to bring his prophecy into fruition while making everyone else play along. And this is why Friend becomes the entity or character known as Friend. Friend manipulates a large part of the world into believing that his prophecy and goals are not just real, but their own. And by doing that, he makes what are in reality just his own ideas and beliefs turn into physical manifestations. It's a lot like the old saying, fake it till you make it. Almost every single thing Friend says, every stunt he pulls off, is fake. He isn't magical, and at least in the beginning of the story, he doesn't even have access to the power or connections that he pretends to. And the greatest example of this is on the bloody New Year's Eve, when everyone believed that a giant high-tech robot was destroying Japan, when in reality it was just a cheap and fragile imitation that could have easily been stopped if people saw it for what it really was. But in a sense, isn't that the entire story of Friend? If people could see through his charisma, lies, or bluffs, he'd be nothing. But they can't. And that's what makes him something incredible. Even though he starts off as an ordinary man, the ideas in his head make him a larger-than-life entity. Someone that characters in the story can't even believe is real. Someone that they look up to as their Lord or Messiah. And in a way, he is their Messiah. He is the chosen one, but he's also the one who wrote the story. And this is where Friend starts to become otherworldly. Even though the tricks he pulls off are a sham, his ability to make people believe in one thing or another is certainly real. So even if the essence of his magic is fake, its effects are sincere. And if that's the case, who's to say that he isn't otherworldly? By all tests and measures, he can shape reality itself. But why and how is Friend able to do all of this? Well, along with his charisma, intelligence, and foresight, he, unlike most characters, remembers. Childhood memories are a major theme and aspect of 20th Century Boys, and no one remembers the past better than Friend himself. Everything that Friend does is based on past events that he recreates on a world-sized scale. And because of this, it's necessary for Friend to remember practically everything. He remembers the tendencies of people like Kenji and Ocho. He knows the locations that they all like to go as kids. And most importantly, he remembers all of their prophecies that they made up as children. This allows him to create a profile for every major character in the story and play into their desires and weaknesses, ultimately allowing Friend to always remain one step ahead. This makes Friend seem untouchable, because just as he seems to be otherworldly with his feats and tricks, he also knows what's going to happen next, allowing him to predict destiny by curating the fates of everyone in the world himself. This makes Friend more than just a person, more than just a leader, or even a living entity. Friend evolves and becomes an idea, which is why it's so important that nobody ever learns his true identity. Because as long as Friend is an idea, he can't be killed or even stopped. He is more than just his physical body. He's a plague on the world, a symbol for the prophecy that he has brought into fruition. And now that people believe in his prophecy, it becomes reality. And through his success in altering and taking over the world, Friend proves just how little of a difference there is between your ideas and reality when you're crazy enough to believe in them. Friend becomes an unstoppable force of chaos, not because he's strong or even because he's particularly smart. He becomes the man of prophecy because he believes. And through his belief, he is able to inspire the entire world to believe in him and live and die for his game. But this is what makes Friend so terrifying. He doesn't just control people, he controls their very perception of reality itself. When an idea is powerful enough, it doesn't need to be true to shape the world. It just needs to be believed. And Friend proves that belief alone can be stronger than truth. Even when Kenji and his allies uncover the deception behind Friend and prove that he's an outright fraud, people don't even care. It doesn't matter because the myth of Friend has already become reality. At some point, the real person behind the mask stops mattering, which is why I decided not to include his true identity in this video. It's irrelevant. What truly exists is Friend as an entity, Friend as a movement, Friend as a prophecy. As soon as his followers accept him as something greater, the man behind the mask disappears. And this is what makes him unstoppable. Because how do you kill a man that isn't even a person anymore? How do you kill an idea? Friend is the ultimate demonstration of how easily history, destiny, and even prophecy can be rewritten. He shows that the difference between a false messiah and a real one is only a matter of perspective. He turns the world into his stage and casts himself to be the chosen one. Not because he was born to be or because people chose him, but because he decided. In the end, 20th Century Boys asks us a chilling question. How much of what we believe is real, and how much is just a carefully crafted illusion? And if the difference between the two is just belief, then maybe Friend isn't just a character in a story. Maybe, in some way, he's real after all.